love for the game. That love for the.
If y'all not tuned to this dude, Jordan Maxwell, I was hip to him for a long time. Those who know. He be dropping that knowledge for real, for real. And some of the knowledge he dropped, it's like if you guys ever heard of five percenters, you know what I'm saying? My folks that live up in New York, when I say five percenters, they already know who I'm talking about. He kind of, the way he break things down, kind of give me that five percenters vibe. But you know what I'm saying? Since he's like who he is or who he was to the community of knowledge, he was taken a little more seriously. Cause when the five percenters start talking, a lot of people just try to dismiss it as, you know, they doing all that, break it down. Don't nobody want to hear that type of thing. But he kind of break it down like the five percenters, in my opinion. That's who I hear when I hear him break it down, because he breaks down like linguistics, he breaks down metaphysics and everything. So basically, what the five percenters do. When I first heard Abraham Lincoln and JFK in the same sentence, they were born hella years apart. You know what I'm saying? They were in two different eras of the United States of America. But there's a linkage, and this video is supposed to like break down the link that they got between each other. I was really excited to get to this video. I don't think things are coincidental when there's too many factors aligned. So let's see what he talks about in this video and how he breaks this down, because I want to know how Abraham Lincoln and JFK got a link between them two. Because that whole Obama having a link with George Bush Jr., I was like, bro, what? What you mean they like long distance cousins? Like, what was that about? So that was interesting to watch in that video. But yeah, we gonna see how JFK and Abraham Lincoln share some type of like occultic link between the both of them.
Abraham Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. John Kennedy was elected to Congress 1946. Abe Lincoln was elected president in 1860. John Kennedy was elected president 1960.
He already cooking. Cause at first when he starts off with he was born in 1846, JFK was born in 1946. I'm like, whoop dee doo. Like, that could be anything. Just numbers, right? Now, when he mentioned when they were elected, 1860, and Kennedy was elected in 1960, that shit already got my ears. Like, I'm already locked in now. Now I'm trying to see like how much further he takes this for real.
The names Lincoln and Kennedy both contain 7 letters. Both presidents were particularly concerned with civil rights. Both of the president's wives lost children while living in the White House. Both presidents were shot on a Friday in the head.
Hold up, that's crazy. Both presidents were shot in the head on a Friday. I remember Abraham Lincoln getting shot in a movie theater, and Kennedy, he was riding in that drop top, I think in Dallas, and he got shot in the head. But that's eerie. I ain't gonna lie to you, that's kind of eerie. And then some of the dates that he was mentioning, and how the wives lost their children, and how many numbers that their names contain, bro. It's shit like that, like numerology and shit like that. If you pay close attention to it, you'll see that there's no coincidence in a lot of the shit that's going on. But man, he cooking high key.
President Lincoln's secretary was named Miss Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Miss Lincoln.
All right, nah, something's going on. Nah. President Lincoln's secretary was named Miss Kennedy, and Kennedy's secretary was named Miss Lincoln. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna mention one thing that I always felt was weird. Meek Mill, right? Meek and Rick Ross, bro. I think Meek name is Robert Williams and Rick Ross name is William Roberts. Like on some weird shit, like. And a lot of the times when you from the hood, like you from the projects, you be hearing shit like this. You be like, bro, that is weird, but like that's a conspiracy. Dudes always try to throw that conspiracy tag on you, so it could look like, bro, you just overthinking. But I pay attention to shit like that. Like, why the fuck is your name and his name the same backwards, and you signed to him? Like, pay attention to metaphysics. It's a lot of things going on in the world that, man, somebody's playing this game. It's a game being played behind the curtain. We just gotta, you know what I'm saying, be willing to take a peek behind it and see what's going on, because that's odd. But yeah, the whole secretary lady name was Miss Kennedy, and then the other one's name was Miss Lincoln, for both presidents who have Kennedy and Lincoln as they like. That's different, bro.
Assassinated by Southerners. Both were succeeded by Southerners.
Or
Andrew Johnson, who succeeded Lincoln, was born in 1808. Lyndon Johnson, who succeeded Kennedy, was born in 1908.
what the?
John Wilkes Booth, who assassinated Lincoln, was born in 1839. Lee Harvey Oswald, who assassinated Kennedy, 1939.
Bro, there's a game being played, bro. Bro. Both assassinators were born in like 100 years apart from each other, bro. Like,
both assassins were known by three names: John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald.
That's crazy,
Both
bro.
names are comprised of 15 letters. President Lincoln was shot in a theater named Ford. Kennedy was shot in a car named Lincoln.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I didn't know the theater Lincoln got shot in was called Ford. Ford Theater, or whatever the case may be. And then the fucking, because I remember I mentioned earlier, Kennedy was shot in a drop top, but I was today years old when I found out that car Kennedy was driving, it was called a Lincoln, bro. That's odd, bro. Like, nah, bro, that's different, bro. Fuck.
Made by Ford.
Made by Ford.
John Wilkes Booth ran to a theater and was caught in a warehouse. Oswald ran from a warehouse and was caught in a theater.
Like I said earlier, bro, when there's too much of a coincidence going on, somebody pulling strings, something's up. One of the murderers, the shooters, ran from a theater and got caught in a warehouse. The other shooter ran from a warehouse and got caught in a theater. What? Like, there's one thing to believe in, like, things repeating themselves in a cycle. One thing to believe in that. It's another thing where these situations are happening 100 years apart that make me feel like somebody's playing this sick game in society. Like, it's some sick shit going on. I think somebody pulling the strings where they're like matching up numbers and years and numerology. Like, a lot of folks is into that. Numerology is something that, you know what I'm saying? If you, like, y'all got to study metaphysics, because we even do numerology. But, like, unconsciously we do numerology. Me, the number 23, every time I see 23 around, in my mind, I put in my mind that God's talking to me. Because that's my favorite number. That's the block I'm from, 23rd and Jefferson. That's the jersey number I wore in high school, college, 23. Like, that's the number, and that number pops up a lot in my life. Like, I think if we focus on metaphysics and actually realize there's something inside of us and in our brains to where we can manipulate reality to a certain extent. If we're able to unlock a higher version of ourselves, shit can get wicked. But there's a lot of folks that believe in this numerology thing. Like they not taking it easy either. Like numbers really matter. Dates, numbers, a lot of that matter to a specific society out here that we don't really know who they are for real, but they maneuver off of numbers and everything. Like
Booth and Oswald were both assassinated before they could go to trial. And a week before Lincoln was shot, he was in Monroe, Maryland. A week before Kennedy was shot, he was with Marilyn Monroe.
bro, what? That's no, bro. Something's weird, bro. That crowd going crazy. He talking that shit.
I read you that to impress upon your minds that there is an occult world going on around you. The men in power in this world that we live in are there by divine appointment. So when you hear the term the divine right of kings, you better look at that, because there is such a thing as a divine lineage going on throughout the world that most people just hear and have no comprehension of the implications of our governmental systems over the earth. I'm nowhere near being an authority on anything. I've never been the world's foremost authority on any subject. I feel that I am an ordinary man pursuing extraordinary knowledge.
Here's my thing. They didn't try to knock this dude off. Like, you know what? I think it's probably because Jordan Maxwell wasn't. He was talking, but I don't think he was interfering actively with what the powers that be in this world was trying to do. So that's why they, he got to live in old age. I think he died when he was like 81 or something. So when you become a threat to the system and you're kind of like getting in the way of what they're trying to do, that's when you got a problem on your hand. That's when they kind of got to get you out the way because they got shit lined up. Or sometimes they'll put you in the way to just knock you off, because knocking you off was part of the plan. Like, it's a lot of shit going on, but yeah, they try to label things conspiracy theories and all that just to throw y'all off they scent, but nah, bro. I don't know, but I just know that's not a coincidence to me. A lot of things is not coincidences, but yeah, y'all need to tap into Jordan Maxwell, bro. He got a lot of good insight on religion too, like specifically Christianity. He blows Christianity up, like he tears it from limb to limb, because the mainstream Christianity that's going on today, that's not the one that's not a religion that was ever supposed to be intended and come into fruition. But Jordan Maxwell, he speaks on that too, so y'all won't listen to the black man that's in your neighborhood that's telling you, listen, this, that, and the third, and speaking past. Y'all won't listen to him. So, hopefully since Jordan Maxwell palm-colored, y'all might listen to him. But respects to him, because he dropped a lot of knowledge throughout his lifetime, and I was able to catch some of the gems he dropped throughout his lifetime through YouTube and all that. But yeah, man, y'all get hit, man.
Growing up, I was doing all kinds of shit. Too many